Alright, hello and everybody. Today I wanted to discuss the biggest issue in the game Rogue Core at the current moment. That being the timer system. I thought of some suggestions and wanted to share them in this video, so without further delay, I am Waffle, and this is how I would fix Rogue Core's timer issue. So, you might ask, Waffle, why is the timer a bad thing? And to that I say, it's not that simple. The timer isn't inherently bad, it's flawed. But how is it flawed? To say it as easy as possible, it doesn't fit the current playstyle of most players. Rogue Core is a roguelite game at heart, but the timer just interferes with that. For example, most players, like myself, like to try and complete every Expedite side objective to get as many upgrades as possible, which isn't possible most of the time, since the timer forces you to extract, instead of letting you do the many side objectives. What is also problematic for time saving is the upgrade gathering. All 4 of you have to gather together at the REPD, which can take a lot of time, or one of you dies at the back of the map and someone has to save you. All of this takes time. So, how do you fix this? So, let's get into how I would fix this issue. Let's look at another game whose system I think would fit Rogue Core almost perfectly. Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain uses a difficulty timer instead of a quote-unquote extract timer like Rogue Core uses. In Risk of Rain 2, the difficulty increases all the time, making the game harder the longer you spend inside of a run. This is a really good system since it balances itself out extremely well. So, if you're fast, you get rewarded by less strong enemies, but worse gear. If you loot every box and do every side objective, you get good gear, but also enemies to match that gear. So, how could you implement this? I would do it like this. First, I would make the upgrades more powerful to balance out the risk-reward system the new timer brings. For example, me and a team spend the first level doing every task and mining every Expedite vein. We would have a good upgrade baseline for the rest of the run, but we would probably have to fight the first enemies from the next difficulty stage early on in the run. But if we rush to the elevator, staying in that first difficulty, it would give us an easier time for the second level. Secondly, I would add guaranteed swarms for each difficulty stage of the timer. I think this could help the planning of the run. Should we prepare now and fight them off? Or escape to the elevator to get ammo and new fresh Expedite veins for upgrades? Thirdly, I would also reward speed. This system rewards the slow and do-everything playstyle that the original Deep Rock Galactic has. A lot more than the speedrun type where you rush to the elevator. I would reward fast players by giving them new side objective generation. Since you, the player, is way quicker, the structure shouldn't be as abandoned as they are if you were slow. There should be more intact infrastructure the Reclaimers can still use, since it hasn't gotten destroyed as much by the core spawn as if you were going slow. So, the fast players should be rewarded with machines that break less often, like the elevator generator or the Expedite drills of some side objectives, as well as working defenses. I think a Risk of Rain 2-like timer would greatly benefit Rogue Core to help fix its big playstyle and timer difference issue by balancing out the fast and the slow playstyle. Although I'm not as sure on the implementation, especially on the third point I made, I think my suggestion can work great as a baseline for Ghost Ship games to reiterate on. Thanks for listening in. I'm a small channel, so I'd be extremely happy with any support of any kind, even just watching this video till the end and enjoying it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a nice day. Waffle out.